Last time we talked about what competitive speedrunning is. This time I'm going to cover why I believe competitive speedrunning is a good way to grow the entire speedrun community, and how it's, especially for non-speedrunners, a good way to watch consistent speedrun content and speedruns of individual video games. Let's get started. Hello there, my name is Flash177, back with another video, talking this time again about the growth of competitive speedrunning in the future, or the growth of speedrunning in general in the future. Before you watch this, let me know in the comments down below what your opinions and ideas are, or how competitive speedrunning is about to grow, what your thoughts are on this topic. I like to gather around ideas of other people, always very interesting what they think about certain topics, and makes this entire conversation much more interesting, so leave a comment then. You can also find me on Twitter, Discord and Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, 6 PM European time. All the links are in the description. We can talk about similar topics over there. I'm always free to talk about speedrun topics. But in this video, I'm going to share my ideas and thoughts on competitive speedrunning, how it's going to affect the growth of speedrunning in general in the future, and why I believe it's the right way to go in order to represent speedrunning in a new and exciting way. But let's start small and little, and first of all, let's explain why I believe competitive speedrunning is going to grow the audience and the community itself. Most people know and watch speedruns only twice per year, pretty much. And that's during AGDQ and SGDQ. The speedrunning community gets the most attention during these two events, and it has been growing since 9 years, and every time AGDQ or SGDQ is going on Twitch, this is probably the most watched stream on Twitch overall. Like, they play Super Mario, it is the most watched game on Twitch. That is kinda crazy. And we definitely need a better way to represent the speedrun community, especially to a non-speedrun audience. Only twice per year is not... It is a great opportunity, but it's not the best opportunity to represent speedrunning. We need a consistent way. And this consistent way can be competitive speedrunning. Competitive tournaments of speed games are going on every day, pretty much every week, in every season of the year, not only twice per year. Competitive tournaments, also offline and online speedrun marathons, have the big advantage that you not only get high quality speedruns, but also high quality speedrun commentary, because they most of the times focus around good commentary. And that is pretty much the biggest advantage over individual speedrun streamers, because they want to achieve bigger goals and new world records or whatever kind of PB they are aiming for. They don't focus that much on completing many full runs or providing the best commentary. But most of the speedrun streamers don't have that much of an audience. There are exceptions. If you have a wider or big audience as a speedrun streamer, then congrats on that. But most of these people are either invested in you or are invested in your success in the speed game, aka they want to see how you make this growth, they want to see how you are improving to this point, they want to see how you improve further. They are not that much into just watching the game. But many people who are non-speedrunners themselves want to watch full runs of their favorite games from their childhood or from their recent playthroughs. Most people who watch AGDQs are getting so touched by it because they see their favorite games of their childhood getting speedrun to such a high level, which is very incredible and mind-blowing. And competitive speedrunning, or tournaments and speedrun leagues, can serve the same audience pretty much, and also a newer audience, but on a more consistent way. That is because people who are not only interested in speedruns of their favorite games are interested in tournaments, or can be interested in tournament streams. It's also these people who like competition and who like to watch something competitive going on. They can be pleased by this a lot. I know a handful of people by now that are not speedrunners themselves, but they watch a lot of GSA and speed gaming because they like the competition about it. And this audience is about to grow. Imagine back then when GDQ was starting, it was also pretty small and had viewer numbers around GSA and speed gaming level. And over these 9 years, it has been growing to such huge numbers. And I believe that not in such an extreme fashion, but in a similar fashion, competitive speedrunning is going to grow a bigger audience over time. But how can this be beneficial for these speedrunners themselves? There have been actually many speedrunners who blew up as a streamer and who were pursuing that dream of becoming a full-time speedrun streamer just because they had a good run at a GDQ. Like, I know from a few people that because they had a good run at GDQ and were there and made a good performance, people start to follow and subscribe to their Twitch channels, and they made somewhat a career because of that. And something like this can also happen when we put competitive speedrunning on a much more serious level, on a much bigger level. Speedrunners can blow up pretty much because they are so good at a game and serve the fans and build a fanship pretty much because people love to watch them and love to see them succeed and improve upon themselves. In these points, competitive speedrunning and marathons are very similar. They're serving a wider audience because most speedrun streamers have an audience of other speedrunners. Like 90% of the people who watch my streams, or like let's say 80, are speedrunners themselves, and the others are just interested in my stream for another reason or are friends of mine. One point where tournaments and marathons go apart by a lot from each other is money. In marathons, the role of money is to support a good cause. In tournaments, it is, and most importantly will be even more, a way to reward the players. Marathons are these huge community projects that happen only twice per year. There are other marathons, but the main thing I'm going to focus on this video are GDQs. So yeah, GDQs are these big projects where speedrunners collab with each other and try to have a good week of a marathon, and in order to raise money for a good cause. That can be so amazing for non-speedrunners to watch, that they start to invest some money or a lot of watch time because they like this entire community spirit behind every GDQ. They want to support it with the money because it's for a good cause. What's wrong about that, you know? And over the past years, it has been growing to such a huge level that GDQ gets a lot of support by many people all over the world. But money obviously plays a way different role in speedrun tournaments than in marathons. If you donate to a marathon, it goes to a good cause. If you donate to a tournament, the organization behind the tournament, most of the time Speed Gaming or GSA, is using this money to either put their stream on the next level and to provide better content, or they put some amount of the money into their prize pools, so the speedrunners who are working very hard and are the competitors of their speedrun leagues are getting more out of it. And in my opinion, this entire idea behind monetizing competitive speedrunning is actually very good, but there are also some bad parts or some scary parts about it. Let's put it like that. If you monetize people who are investing so much time into competitive speedrunning or into getting to such a competitive level of speedrunning, I find it kind of fair to serve them more. Like, every other athlete in every other sport has worked their entire life off to get to this point. Why do you not support also speedrunners who worked a lot of time into their speed games to get to such a level and give them some credit for it? I mean, it serves the wider audience and people like to watch it, and people are getting excited when world records are getting broken, so why do you not support these people more? And even though there are haters about competitive tournaments, since they believe people will start to hide strategies and they will start to do certain things that are not that very welcomed in the community, as I said, hiding strats or cheating even. Yes, that can be kind of rough, but I don't believe that has such a major impact, to be honest. I still believe that speedrunning is still going to be this community wholesome project, but adding a little bit of competition can spice it up a little bit and make it more interesting and outstanding. Competitive speedrunning is nothing else but defining speedrunning in a new and fresh way, which can be very fun for many people to watch or to experience themselves. I mean, every other hobby or every other activity in life has evolved over time to something new that someone who would have never seen. And speedrunning is currently slowly going in a direction where it's getting more competitive due to GSA starting to grow. But not only the monetization or the viewer base behind competitive speedrunning is a good thing for it, I also believe competitive speedrunning is a great way to get into a speed game or getting in general into speedrunning. Many people like to watch speedruns or are interested in speedruns, have heard of it. It became kind of normal nowadays. But there are still many people not using the opportunity or not trying to get into speedrunning because they don't really like the time investment. I can see this reason. Like, not every gamer has to be a speedrunner, but this competitive aspect can push some people to finally start with speedrunning. And that's why I believe that speedrunning or competitive speedrunning is overall helping the community to grow even bigger and make the community also a better place to be in. I take myself for an example. Most of the speed games I've started to learn have started with either a tournament or a community race. So I got ready for the tournament or the community race, and because of that I had an easier way to meet new people and new friends in a certain speedrun community. And I also discover if this speed game or speedrunning in general is something for me or not. Let's take the example with Celeste. I started learning Celeste 1 week before the Any Percent tournament, and I met so many great people and improved so much during that tournament that I discovered, first of all, yeah, Celeste is for sure the game I love to speedrun, and I would continue it, and I still speedrun it nowadays for more than a year by now. I met so many great people and friends because of the tournament, and I still would say till today, the Celeste Any Percent tournament that was hosted back then by Speed Gaming right after SGDQ 2018 was still the most fun experience I ever had in the Celeste community, or I ever had with Celeste overall. Like, it was so cool, and this entire community coming together and fighting it out who is the best and where you're standing, and this little competition in between was so fun to experience, and I believe many people also liked it to watch. So overall I would say, yes, competitive speedrunning is definitely the right way to go. It's already on a good way with GSA. Shoutouts to GSA, by the way. They are putting a lot of work into it. I really love to see that. And to all the people who having fears about competitive speedrunning is going to destroy the community spirit, I cannot see a future where competitive speedrunning is going to destroy this entire spirit of it. Yeah, there will be people who will abuse competitive speedrunning. Yeah, there will be black sheeps in the speedrun community. But that is something completely normal, especially the bigger a community gets. Like, the bigger a community gets, the more likely it is that there are people who you don't like and who are actually kind of weird, evil, or whatever, however you want to call them. And yes, competitive speedrunning is about to grow the community, but I believe marathons and the community as a whole will always stay in the foreground, and that won't probably change in the next 10 years, I believe, at the very least, and who knows what happens till this day. So yeah, my name was Flash177. I hope you now understand why I believe in competitive speedrunning, and I hope you put also more faith into competitive speedrunning or get into it. If you want to know what competitive speedrunning is all about, check out my other video. I explained everything there, where you can start and how tournament formats are working. You can also check out my Twitter or my Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 6 PM European time. All links in the description. I hope you like it, and happy speedrunning, y'all. I'm very nervous right now. I was not thinking of this going to happen that soon. Nice! Woo! Oh my god!